I'll tell you from the jump, there's not a single thing you've said that I haven't experienced personally. Just in my own version, you know, of course, like you said, I mean, I grew up, I can totally understand that. And I don't think there's a single white rapper, at least in North America, who probably doesn't have that same problem. And there's a lot of people that, you know, they haven't joined the group for whatever reason, but I know a lot of white rappers reach out to me and say the same issue. So, you know, you're not alone in that. So, I mean, the first thing I'll say with that all in mind is that nothing you're saying or anything that's holding you back is unique to you, and it's not necessarily a sign of the likelihood of you being successful or not, or that anything that anyone's saying or what's happening are all true. Because if it was true and it was just you, you know, if it was like the problem, then I wouldn't hear it, you know, from other people, right? I had a dude, a young white kid, he's 14 from like rural Tennessee. He hit me up the other day and asked pretty much the same thing. Like, he was like, dude, what do I do? I'm a white rapper and I don't want to be like da 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 da. She has mentioned, she's like, I want to go blonde, but I don't want people to think I'm like Iggy, you know? And of course I'm sort of like, well, Iggy is from Australia. But you know, that's just a sign of how sometimes our emotions can tell us things that aren't necessarily true, or people can just say dumb shit, you know what I'm saying? And so, you know, I'll just start with more like beliefs and then things you can do to fix it. So as far as beliefs, you know, in your life, especially around your music, everyone has an opinion, and it's probably better that they have an opinion than they do what a lot of people do, which is just ignore it or act like you're not there. So the fact that you're getting a reaction out of people, whether it's you're getting wasted with, you know, a rapper you admire and he's like giving you mad props, or if somebody's like, fuck you, why do you think you can rap? It is, I'm telling you, and you know this because I'm sure you've had people who just didn't even react to your raps. It is so much more preferable that somebody actually fucking reacts. Now with that, right? Exactly. But the thing about it is that it's a gift and a curse, right? Because if you're willing to take the props, if you're willing to take the respect, then you got to be willing to take the, like, why do you think you can rap? Or why do you think you're fucking, you know, who the fuck do you think you are? You're not black. You know, all that shit is going to come along with all the admiration and praise that you get. And you can think about the biggest and greatest rappers of all time. This is another big picture point. You got to think, like, the more successful you are, the more haters you're going to get. We all know that, right? I mean, it's like Eminem is in a lot of shit right now because of some shit he said about, what's that girl's name? The singer? Well, Iggy, and then he also said something about, yeah, that's it. I confuse the larger you are, the more haters you're going to get and the more angry they are. Like, the bigger you get, not only are you going to get more praise and admiration, but you're also going to get like Eminem. Like, this dude has literally proven to anyone he's one of, if not the greatest rapper to ever do it. And yet still a 17-year-old auto-tune singer, whoever these people are, you know, are able to criticize him and get respect for some reason. Not saying they don't have a legitimate point. If you're getting the local hate and the hate and like people insulting you for whatever reason, whether it's your race or your flow or whatever, it's probably a good sign, and it's going to happen again. It's going to happen a lot. You know, I would never ask you guys to do this, but if you look at some of the comments on how to rap, or if I posted maybe some of the stuff that gets said to me about me in forums, you would see that at first it was all nice. But now I get people that are like, this guy's a fucking idiot. Fuck this guy. Yeah, I mean, that's the nature of the game. And I kind of knew going into it that I was going to get that, you know. And also just rap as a culture. This is the other thing. Rap as a culture, like hating is part of our culture. You know, it's just like, fuck this motherfucker. Perfectionism is definitely a double-edged sword though, because it is more like a conversation than the music itself. Rap is more of a conversation than beats or musical production, you know. So with that being said, the barometer, the sort of level that you need to satisfy is much more concerned with, are you being honest? Are you being authentic? And are you releasing music? So if you have any aspirations for rapping specifically, I would definitely say perfectionism is a lot more dangerous than your beats. You know what I mean? A way to solve this, and this is part of the reason How to Rap exists, is, and as a closed, members only group, you can post it in the group or you can post it directly to me so that you do feel like you don't have to like put yourself out there. I tell folks this all the time, as you guys know. I'll be like, send it to the group or to me. Like but it's so much better that you actually put it out somewhere where even the act of just releasing it to someone other than maybe your girlfriend or your family, but like to someone who isn't your blood or whatever, will free you to experience like a new opinion and a new perspective, because it could be a lot better than you think. You are not necessarily the expert on how good or bad you are. I'm like, when you're not releasing your shit for us, we might think it's your best track, and we might say something like, dog, rap like that. And then next thing you know, you're fucking ill because you're actually rapping the way you should. But if we don't hear it, how the fuck can we tell you that? I try to create that culture. Obviously, sometimes I'm more angry when people don't do it. But, the good news is no one's in this group, no one's in threat of being judged unless they're hating, in which case, as you know, I cut people out who aren't hating, who just don't do shit, as everyone knows. So, like, there's absolutely no worry about, like you said, hating or like a negative, mean, if I can use such a non-rap word. This is one thing too, a new belief. You're going to get a new belief on this weekly call. You can be the first rapper to do X, Y, or Z. You can, sometimes, whether it's perfectionism or in James' case, maybe people hating or whatever, you can be the first rapper to prove them wrong. There was a point in the world, middle-class rappers from places like Maine or Philly, suburban Philly, were not acceptable in rap. And that was called the time before Kanye West. There was a time in which there was never a good white rapper. That was called the time before Eminem. Yeah, street cred. There was a time in which there was no such thing as a Canadian rapper. That was called the time before Drake 5 years ago. So as I'm just painting broad strokes. There were white rappers before Eminem. There were middle-class rappers before Kanye West. Anyway, so in your case, you can be that guy. And I know that the immediate reaction in your head, if you're not 100% godly secure, is, but I'm not like them, or Kanye West had Jay-Z, or Eminem had whatever, Detroit. So he kind of was black. Eminem was black. He's from Detroit. It's like, but the point is, at this second, you're not. At this very second on a weekly Skype call, you're not. But if you actually do shit, especially a lot of the shit that I'm telling you, just because at the very least I know how to rap good, if you do shit, you're more likely to get to that point. You know what I mean? So you can become them, or even better, you can become a new version. And furthermore, you have advantages that they didn't have, like the internet, like them being a good example. Kanye West didn't have Kanye West as an example of middle-class rap. He had to make it up. So, that is what, if you get nothing out of this call just for this week, and I'm going to keep talking this shit, I'll probably put it in a product. I'm sure I'll put it in my videos soon, is you can be the first whatever problem you have, and you win it. There were no non-gangster rappers from Compton before Kendrick Lamar, like at least big, okay? So all of these people, I just named the 4 biggest rappers of the last 15 years. All of them came over huge obstacles. Drake was a child actor, no child actor rappers. So who are you to tell us that you can't be the first Maine producer or New England producer rapper, or BC, rural British Columbia, Canadian rapper? You guys can really do this, and you have advantages that they don't have. Me, I would consider myself an advantage for you guys as well, but, and the group, but also the rappers themselves and the internet. You can literally blow up in half the time they can, just purely. Yeah, exactly. Those little, the Al Gore shit, what I'm saying? So, so always remember that going in as a huge part of your, if you're ever like questioning yourself, or maybe you're like, obviously right now listening to me or like on a call, you're going to feel pretty good about your prospects. But we all get there, where we're by ourselves in our bedroom and we're like, this fucking rap shit, like I just can't do it. How do you think I'm any different? You think I don't go to sleep like how to rap? I don't know if it'll ever be, da da da. I question myself, but, if you think really about the examples we have in rap history at this point of people that have come over harder obstacles than what we're going through, like, whether it's haters or, negative people, like Eminem probably had that times 8 because there wasn't a white rapper before. And yeah, his mom was a drug addict, as we know too well, whatever nervousness you have about being a producer, rapper, or being a perfectionist, like Kanye West had it that much. He actively had Jay-Z telling him he was whack. Like, is that not a hard, stop rapping is what Dame Dash said to Kanye West. You know what I'm saying? So,